Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What's going on, man? What is going on? Welcome to Big B Daily Show, man. This is Brian Hanley. Thank you guys for joining. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube, man. I appreciate you guys joining Big B Daily Show. Let's have some fun today, man. I appreciate it. As always, if you're on TikTok, please give me a follow. And also click the link in the bio and jump on over to YouTube, man, and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over there. Come enjoy the chat over on YouTube, man. We have a lot of fun. So the chat is more interactive. Put your comment or your question up on the screen. Give you a shout out. We have a good time, man. So let's get going. Here's a question just real quick. Somebody said Herm Edwards plus LeVar Ball equals Deion Sanders. That could be one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard on TikTok. But let's move on. So, fraud of the week. Let's get it going, baby. The fraud of the week. Y'all know we do this weekly. Who is the fraud of the week today? So, there's a couple teams. The one that a lot of people are saying Colorado. Colorado are not frauds. If you know anything about football at all, you knew that Colorado was on borrowed time. Colorado are not frauds. So them getting blown out, that didn't mean anything. Okay? The honorable mention that I wanted to put on there, were the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody's picking them to win the division, how good they are, and they go get their head beaten in by the Houston Texans at home. And that game wasn't close. But you all know who the fraud of the week is. You all know. Let's see it. Let's see it in the comments, TikTok. Let's see it in the comments on YouTube. You guys know who the fraud of the week is. Those damn Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, somebody asked earlier if that meant that, well, they lost, so does that change the season projection? No. Nobody said the Cowboys were going undefeated. And as you all know, I'm a Cowboy hater. And as you guys also know, it pains me to say that I picked the Cowboys to make the Super Bowl. And I did. But the Cowboys are the fraud of the week this week after going to Arizona and getting their head beaten in. Jiminy Christmas. Couldn't stop the run to save their life. Just smacked around. I loved it. I know a lot of you guys loved it. Bottom line, Cowboys, fraud of the week. Makes me feel good to say it. Y'all say it with me in the chat. Say it with me in the chat. Cowboys, fraud of the week. Put it in caps. Cowboys, fraud of the week. Woo! Makes me feel good to say it. Gets it off my chest. Whew. Like I said, I wanted to put Jacksonville up there because they could have easily been a fraud. But we'll stick with the Cowboys. We will stick with the Cowboys. Now, let's move on. NFL Power Rankings. NFL Power Rankings. Last week, we had the Cowboys 1. We do a top 5. This week, guess what? The Cowboys are at 5. Can't go to Arizona. I wanted to put them all the way out, but I got the Cowboys at 5. So y'all follow me here and let me know what you think. Everybody, let me know what you think. I got the Cowboys at 5. I got the Chiefs at 4. Now, look, I wanted to put the Chiefs higher. But they're 3 undefeated teams, and I'm giving everybody their respect for now. But I think the Chiefs are better than the Eagles. And the Eagles I have at 3. But I think the Chiefs are better. You take the best player outside of your quarterback, your best skill position player, and then your best defensive player off of your team, and you play against another good team, it's hard to win. And that's what happened, Chiefs, week 1. It's hard to win. And the Lions are good. The Lions are good. So either way, I got the Cowboys at 4, the Chiefs or the Cowboys at 5, the Chiefs at 4, the Eagles at 3. I got the 49ers at 2. I got the 49ers at 2 and the Dolphins at 1. The Dolphins at 1. I don't see how anybody can have the Dolphins at 1. They're playing outstanding. Now, look, they scored 70 points, which is insane, but they're just playing outstanding football right now. But this is as of right now. Somebody said Miami is a joke. Somebody that just scored 70 points in a football game is a joke. At some point, we may have to kick that person out because y'all know we don't deal with nonsense. They scored 70 points in a football game, but yet they're a joke. And it doesn't matter if it's one game or 100 games. They scored 70 points. I mean, for anybody to say, oh, they can't do that, they scored 70 points. Shut up. Shut up. We talked about yesterday, are they the new greatest thing on turf? Who knows? Who knows? So, and somebody over on TikTok said, put them up against KC. Okay, put them up against KC. And then what? And they play KC this year. So we'll get to see it. Crazy. Just crazy. KC gets destroyed. I don't know if KC gets destroyed, but y'all are tripping. The Dolphins are a good football team, man. The Dolphins are a good football team. So they're a good football team. And again, hey, this is this week. It could all come crashing down next week, just like the Cowboys came crashing down. Go and get your head beat in by Arizona, who Arizona's the worst roster in football. It's worse than the Bears, Broncos. It's the worst roster in football. And yet they ran the ball down your throat, Cowboys. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And last but not least, man, and just sports news, I debated on whether I wanted to bring this up, but a couple of y'all texted and sent emails saying you wanted me to bring it up. Better KELCE Swift combo. Is it Jason and DeAndre Swift or Travis and Taylor Swift? I don't know. It was crazy. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Somebody said it's Trailer as a name. You know how celebrities put their name together? They said Trailer, Tavis. I'm like, come on, people. Are we doing this already? I'm over it. I'm over it. I brought it up, and a bunch of y'all are like, Brian, what are you doing? Why are we talking about this big? I apologize, man. But we had to bring it up. It's relevant. It's news. But let's move on, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining the live. Again, if you're not following me on TikTok, give me a follow. And also hit the link in the bio. Come join the chat over on YouTube. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube, man. Come subscribe over there. Hit the chat. Chat is live, up and going. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into some of these questions. So on TikTok, Dolphins could potentially steal the AFC this year. Are they going to be stealing it? They're not stealing it as of right now. In my opinion, they're the best team in the league right now. Steelers or Texans this weekend. I mean, the Steelers should win, but it'll be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Texans are tough. Texans are tough. Let's go to YouTube, man. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Thoughts on the Browns defense? The Browns defense looks like it's for real. It looks like it's for real. So I didn't think that it would be this good. I thought they'd still have some issues against the run, but it looks like the Browns defense may be for real. And if they continue to get the play like they got this past week from Deshaun Watson, they're going to have to be dealt with. They're going to have to be dealt with. So somebody on TikTok was asking me, where are the power rankings for the Steelers? All I know is this. If the season ended today, the Steelers would be the number 2 seed in the AFC. That's all I know. I don't know anything other than that. Y'all can get on me and smack me around and all that. All I know is as of this second, the Steelers are the number 2 seed in the AFC. Will that change? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Do. Cameron Reyes says Coloradoans online. Or Colorado's O-line. Are the fraud of the week? I don't think they're the fraud of the week because they're not any good. I don't think anybody thought they were any good. I like that, though. Shedeur Sanders is not a fraud. How's he a fraud? I mean, you have no time to pass the football, get sacked 7 times. You're hurried and rushed on 80. Did y'all see that stat? 82% of his throws, he was hurried. How do you complete passes 82% of the time? You're hurried and harassed outside of being sacked 7 times. That doesn't even make sense. That's a dumb comment. Just dumb. Jags played horrible. Yes, we know that. Ravens lost to the Colts. Better on fraud of the week. They were another one that I was thinking about, Seth. But are we thinking that the Ravens are that good yet? I'm just not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there's a bunch of people over here that are saying Dak. I'm like, why? Can I just ask this question? And please let me know. Why are people blaming the Cowboys' loss to the Cardinals on Dak? Can I just ask that question? Why do you believe that it's Dak's fault that they lost the game? I get he threw an interception at the end where they were going to need 2 scores anyway. But they didn't lose because of Dak. I'm sorry to all the Dak haters, but they didn't lose that football game because of Dak Prescott. Sorry. That's just not the truth. Now, the Cowboys got beat because they couldn't stop the run and got out physicaled, which has 0 to do with Dak Prescott. 0. So, I know that everybody wants to blame Dak for everything and say that he stinks. And maybe he does. But yesterday or Sunday, that wasn't his fault. They didn't lose because of Dak. So, are the Titans doomed? Yeah, because the Titans have Basket Case Tannehill as their quarterback. Anytime you got Basket Case Tannehill as your quarterback, you got problems. So, the Titans got issues, man. The Titans got issues. Look here, a lot of jealousy. Somebody said fraud of the week were the Steelers. See that? See the jealousy that goes on? I don't understand. I don't get it. NFC West doesn't have a bad team. The Cardinals are a bad team. Okay, the Cardinals are a bad team. The Rams had fool's gold at the beginning of the year. The Rams aren't good either. They're average. They're average. Let's not get excited. Let's not get excited. Eagles going back to the Super Bowl, not with that offense, Cameron Reyes. Not with that offense. They ain't going back to the Super Bowl. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, there's somebody, Blue 42, said the Ravens are average. I can dig that. I can dig that. The Ravens look average. Look, I'm a Lamar fan. I'm a Lamar fan. Lamar got to be better. Lamar has got to be better. So, now that the Pats get their first win, do you think they have a chance at the AFC East? Absolutely not. Hoop Social, you know you're my dude. The Pats are not winning it. They're not winning. The Bills and the Dolphins are light years ahead of them. Light years ahead of them. Oh, another thing. Who is tired of Aaron Rodgers talking? Who is tired of Aaron Rodgers talking? Again, coming out today saying that the Jets need to grow up, not point the finger. Hey, man, just go rehab and shut up. We don't need to hear from you either. Just go rehab and shut up. How about that? How about that? Look at Colts Nation standing up. Playoffs started today. The Colts will be the winners of the South. Go ahead, Colts fans. Go ahead. Seahawks, number 5. I like the Seahawks, Dakota. I still like the Seahawks. But they're not number 5 in the power rankings. Not just yet. Not just yet. Doo-doo. Kazi Kaz. When are we going to talk about how terrible Trevor Lawrence is? We can talk about it right now because he was horrible. Everybody tried to anoint Trevor Lawrence as a top 5 quarterback. Everybody was wrong, myself included. Everybody was wrong. He is not a top 5 quarterback in any shape, fashion, form, anything. Trevor Lawrence got a long way to go, man. He's got a long way to go. Long way to go. Thanks for the gifts, Hoop Social over on TikTok, man. Anybody, by the way, that loves NBA sports, go follow Hoop Social. The guy knows his NBA stuff, man. He's a hoop guy. He knows his stuff. Cowboys won't even make the playoffs. Now, that's a bad take. Come on now. You would take Brock over Dak any day? Maybe. Maybe. Big B, how we feeling about those Cleveland Browns? I don't feel anything because the Steelers played the Cleveland Browns. How did that game end? You tell me how that game ended, and I'll tell you how I feel about the Cleveland Browns. Jamar Get Bread over here on YouTube. They don't have Jalen Ramsey yet either. Talking about the Dolphins. No, they don't. Now, the one thing about that, though, they keep saying he's going to come back in December. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey's going to come back at all. But if he does, that's problems for everybody. That's problems for everybody. Because that's only going to make them better. It's only going to make the Dolphins better. Hold on, people. We can't be fighting in here. All we're doing is talking. Relax. We just have a good time, man. 5 good teams, 5 real bad teams. The rest are the same. Nah, not this year. Not this year. There's more than 5 good teams. There's more than 5 good teams this year. To have a legit MVP chance? Absolutely. I mean, I think if the voting was today, Tua would win it. Don't you? I mean, doesn't everybody think that? If the voting for MVP was today, doesn't Tua win it? I don't know. I don't know. And everybody always says, well, if Tyreek wasn't there, but he is there. He is there. Don't say, okay, if this and that, you know what? If I wasn't fat, I'd be skinny. If I wasn't fat, I'd be skinny. But guess what? I'm fat. So what are we talking about here? We got to stop living in the if world, live in the real world. Jiminy Christmas. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Saints are in trouble. I believe that. 30 for 30 didn't look great, did he? Appreciate the gifts, Phil. Yeah, 30 for 30 didn't look good when Carr went down. Gavin O'Brien, can Hill win the MVP? I don't think they'll give it to a wide receiver. And not that I don't think they should, because I do. I just don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. But he could. In my book, I love Tyreek Hill. And I would love to see somebody besides a quarterback win the MVP for once. Jared Kirby. Eagles proved the Bucs ain't shit last night. Okay. Did we think the Bucs were, though? I mean, who in here thought the Bucs were any good? I mean, I don't think anybody did. I think they won 2 games against bad teams, and okay. I get your point, but I don't think anybody thought that they were any good. Taylor's a 6? Okay. My man Dakota Billings. Hey, man, I'm sure you already brought it up, but how about them Cougs? Cam Ward, Heisman watch. How you liking the Seahawks? I did not bring up Washington State today. I brought him up yesterday, and absolutely Cam Ward's got it. His name's got to start floating around in that Heisman talk. It 100% does. That was a big win for Washington State on Saturday. Huge win. Huge win. So, yes. I like the Seahawks, too. You know I picked them to win the West. So, I still like the Seahawks. I think week 1 was just an aberration. Ooh, some people over here are saying DeAndre Swift for MVP. I mean, if I'm going to say Tyreek Hill, I can't be a hypocrite and not bring up DeAndre Swift. Because what he's done the last 2 weeks, you got to throw his name in that too. But for a running back to win the MVP, you got to go for 2,000. Got to go for 2,000. If he don't go for 2,000, he's not even in the running. So, but can he do it? With that O-line, the way that they've been blocking? Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. So, and again, I would love for somebody to win the MVP besides a quarterback. It's happened in my lifetime, obviously, but the last time was what? Adrian Peterson? So, yeah, man, I'd love to see it happen. Love to see it happen. Thoughts on Daniel Jones? I think Daniel Jones is a below average quarterback that got paid a ton of money for absolutely no reason. That's what I think about Daniel Jones. There's no reason on God's green earth that Daniel Jones needs to be getting $40 million a year to play quarterback. There just isn't. There just isn't. You could have paid Daniel Jones $25 million, paid Saquon, got some other pieces, but to pay him for, and I don't care that that's the going rate for a starter. That's the going rate for a good starter, not just anybody. And Daniel Jones is just an anybody. Terrible. Terrible. But that's the Giants. That's the Giants. Will Jalen Carter win Defensive Rookie of the Year? He very well might. I think there's a lot of guys that are in the running for that, though. Gonzalez in New England. There's a lot of guys that are in the running for that. A lot of guys. Carter is definitely one of them. Reggie Bush was a Heisman winner. Yeah, we were talking about MVP in professional ranks, though. Well, once again, Dak is still a terrible quarterback. I don't know what that means. Or, I mean, Dak is an average quarterback. We already knew that. And nothing on Sunday said anything otherwise. So, TJ Watt is overrated. He's no Myles Garrett. Well, define overrated. A guy that has the season sack record, shares it with Michael Strahan. Define overrated. Because, again, that's one of the dumber comments. Come on, Jamar. Get it together, man. I put your questions up here, but I'm going to keep calling them stupid if you keep making stupid statements. If you don't think that TJ Watt is the best, that's fine. You don't have to think he's the best. But to say he's overrated, like he's not a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL, is a stupid statement. Come on, brother. You got to be better than that. I know you're new here, but I will call you out for stupidity. I will call you out for stupidity. Just say you don't think he's the best. Fine. But to say he's overrated, stupid. Stupid. Who you got for comeback player of the year? We can't have comeback player of the year at week 3, can we? We can't do it yet. Oh, I take that back, people. I take that back. Desmond Johnson over on TikTok made an even dumber statement. He said that Deion Sanders was not actually a good football player. I stand corrected, Jamar. Somebody said something dumber than you. Man, what is going on in the chat today? What is going on in the chat today? People coming, is it a full moon? Is it a full moon? The guy's the greatest cornerback to ever live. And in my opinion, he's the top 5 football player of all time. Other people say top 10. But to say he wasn't a good football player, just say you never watched a down of football in your life. Whew. Baker Mayfield is fraud of the week. Jared, I can't do it. I get your point, and I love it. But did anybody think Baker was any good? Nope. Can't be the fraud of the week if you're not any good. Jamar is on one today, people. My man Jamar is on one. He thinks Lamar is the best QB in the league, but he knows it's an unpopular opinion. What has Lamar Jackson done this year that says best player in the league? And I'm willing to listen. I'm just saying, what has he done that says, man, he's the best guy in the league? Because as of right now, through the first 3 games, you could easily say that Lamar Jackson is mid, that he's an average quarterback based on what he's done. He played a good second game, but his first game and a third game were terrible. So, man, it's a full moon today, boy. Here's my guy, Coach K. Let's see Coach K. He's usually the guy that's got some reason about him. Do you think that there will not be more than 2 teams in the NFL with 3 or less losses? Yeah, I think everybody's got at least 3 losses this year. I think everybody has at least 3. It is a big parity year. After week 3, there's only 3 undefeated teams. There's usually 7 or 8. And now there's only 3. I think the parity has struck. I think there's going to be a lot of teams with a lot of losses. The Patriots, by the way, if you flip that record around, that's closer. Somebody on TikTok said the Patriots will finish 12-5. Flip that around, that's closer to what they'll be. Man, it's got to be a full moon today. I love it. I love it. Keep going, people. Keep going with the craziness. Keep going with the craziness. It ain't fun if it ain't crazy, though, is it? You know what I'm saying? It's not fun if we ain't having fun. Miami versus Florida State in the ACC championship game. There's going to be a couple teams that got something to say about that, but that could happen. That could happen. Watch out for Duke. Watch out for Louisville. But that could happen. It's not going to be Clemson. Clemson already got 2 losses. I don't think it's going to be North Carolina either because North Carolina doesn't play good enough defense. They're going to get beat by a couple of teams that just outscore them. I think Jack's against Houston in the Super Bowl. That's somebody that doesn't. Oh, he said he's just kidding. I'm like, I guess, because considering they're in the same division, much less the same conference, they can't play in the Super Bowl. I was about to get on you. I was about to get on your head. Think Louisville has a chance against Notre Dame next week? I do. But Louisville needs to win Friday. They need to beat NC State first before they worry about Notre Dame. They haven't beat NC State at NC State in a long time. Seth says Tank Dell is that dude. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. My man, Coach Stokes. It's so watered down, the play calling and the mediocre guys playing, showing lack of fundamentals. Yeah, football's lacking fundamentals. It's starting to catch up to how bad the fundamentals in basketball are. Fundamentals in basketball have been horrendous for 15 years. And football is starting to catch up to that. Football is starting to catch up to that. And you can see the difference between the teams that have good fundamentals and take it serious and the teams that don't. You can see it. You can see it. It's crazy. Crazy. MVP should go to Tyreek. That's not a horrible take. That's not a horrible take. Who do I have winning the Pac-12? Washington. I said it at the beginning of the year. I like Washington. Am I tired of hearing about Taylor Swift yet? Yeah. I mean, I don't really care because if I don't want to hear it, I just don't pay attention. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. Like everybody's tired of hearing about Dion and Colorado. If I didn't want to hear it, I would just turn. I just don't listen. So stuff like that can't bother me. You shouldn't let it bother you guys either. Shouldn't let it bother you. If you don't want to listen to it, turn the station. It's pretty simple. You told me the Packers are good. Okay. But are they? Do we know that yet? Who'd they beat that was good? So I know they lost to Atlanta. So do we know that yet? We'll see. The Packers beat the Bears, who we know stink, and the Saints. So we'll see. Yeah, the Packers might be pretenders, man. But it's still early. It's still early. Think Syracuse beat Clemson and Florida State this year, but lose to North Carolina. Do they play? I don't know Syracuse schedule, but if they play Clemson and Florida State at home, you may be right. You may be right. Everybody's saying that Florida State is so good. I'm not sold. I'm not sold. I know they blew out LSU, but we all don't think LSU is that good. I know we don't think that. I knew we don't think LSU is that good. So, but you might be right about Syracuse, man. You may be right about Syracuse. What do I think about the Denvers and Broncos? Well, I think it's the Denver Broncos, Chris. And I think they stink. I think they stink. You thought their defense was supposed to be good. They just gave up 10 touchdowns. I mean, wasn't the Broncos' defense supposed to be good? And they just gave up 10 touchdowns. Woo. Here we go. Full moon. Brock Purdy is literally the GOAT. And full moon is everywhere. Everywhere. Thoughts on the Bengals yesterday? I thought they played okay. I thought they should have run the ball more. Throwing it 49 times when your quarterback's hurt, I thought was dumb play calling. Thought they could have run the football a little bit more. But I shouldn't say the secret. The thing that keeps the Bengals in a lot of games is their defense is really good. People underestimate how good their defense is. They've underestimated it for 2 years. 2 years. Let's see. What else we got? Oh, at the end of the year, watch Devin Witherspoon is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year and Geno MVP. Now, Geno's not winning the MVP. That ain't happening. But Witherspoon, he's going to be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know why you're saying that. I get it. You're a Seahawks homer, my man, Dakota. I get it. But yeah, I like Witherspoon. Who do I have winning the NFC East? The Cowboys. Still. The Cowboys. Yep. I still do. Hey, just a reminder, man. Again, we're every day, Big B Dailies, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time. Thank you guys for joining the live. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, please, if you're in here and not following, please give me a follow. And also, tap in, man, on the link in the bio and come join the live over on YouTube. Come subscribe to Big B Sports Talk and come join the live over there, man. Come join the chat. And by the way, on TikTok, we're still looking for 3,500 likes and 30 follows. We need about 1,500 likes to get there. My man Evan C. Browns win AFC North. Best defense in the NFL. They might have the best defense, Evan. They might have the best defense. They just might. They're good. They are absolutely good. I can't see them winning the North. I shouldn't say I can't see them winning. I don't want them to win. I don't want them to win. I want the Steelers to win it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will definitely see. Eric Bieniemy will be a head coach next year? If yes, where? I don't think he will. I think Bieniemy's time has passed. I think that shine is worn off. I think he's a career coordinator. There's a lot of those guys. Career coordinator. Even though a lot of those guys actually get a shot, I just don't see it. And not that I'm not hoping for it, because I think he deserves it, but I don't see it. Here you go, Jamar. Big B saying TJ was overrated might have been a little much. I ain't going to lie. But I don't think Miles, but you do think Miles is better. Then just say that Miles is better. Just say you think Myles Garrett is better. But to say a guy that has 22 sacks in a season and continuously is leading the league in sacks right now is overrated is insane. Just say what you think, man. You ain't got to down another guy to pump up your guy. Don't do that. Deshaun Webb, fraud of the week, needs to go to Jacksonville. giving up kick returns to fullbacks. Yeah, I thought about it, but the Cowboys earned it. The Cowboys earned it. The Cowboys, I mean, what they did in Arizona and how they played, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. My man John Marshall, thoughts on the run and shoot offense. Is it outdated? I don't think it's outdated. They just call it something different. There's plenty of teams that run a version of the run and shoot. They just don't call it that anymore. So it's not outdated. It is not outdated. If anything, it was ahead of its time. If anything, it was ahead of its time. But there are plenty of teams that are running 4 wide receivers right now. All the time. 4 and 5 wide. And sometimes they put a tight end out there. But yeah, there's tons of teams that do that. So no, it is definitely not outdated. Definitely not outdated. My man Seth, how do you have 10 men on the field on a game-winning play? Notre Dame frauds. I wondered that myself. How do you have 10 guys twice? It was the last 2 plays. You have 10 guys on the field. How does that happen? And if you knew it the play before, they huddled and it was an incomplete pass. How did you not get another guy out there the next play? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, man. It's like, okay, you had 10 out there. They threw an incomplete pass. Then get another guy out there for the next play. They didn't even do that. They didn't even do that. Clemson, fraud. Terrible play calling in overtime. Yeah. Yes. Not only in overtime, at the end of the game, they had an opportunity and didn't take it. Just fraud, fraud, fraud. Dabo and his I don't believe in the transfer portal. Okay. Okay. Do-do-do-do. The no-flop rule is going to fix the NBA. Just watch. No, it won't. It's because they won't call it all the time. They won't call it all the time. But that would be a start. It would definitely be a start. Do-do-do-do. Evan C. Watts is starting to gain confidence, appears, finally. Titans game was huge. I think you might be right. I think you might be right because he played lousy against Pittsburgh. He was the reason they lost against Pittsburgh. Played horrible. Just double clutching throws, didn't trust what he saw, held the ball forever, inaccurate all over the place. If he gets confidence, Cleveland's going to have to be dealt with. If he keeps playing like that, he's going to have to be dealt with. What else we got, man? Wrath of Gorluck. CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Looks that way as of now. Looks that way as of now. The guy's playing good. Now, if he don't play good this week, I'll understand. And hopefully he don't because the Steelers. Let me bring this up again about the Steelers. Everybody's been giving me a hard time, especially on TikTok, about the Steelers. Look, the bottom line, if the season ended today, the Steelers are the number 2 seed in the AFC. Deal with it. Deal with it. I don't care. Deal with it. That's who would be the number 2 seed. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry. I mean, I'm just a facts guy. Y'all know me. I deal with facts. Only facts. Only facts. What do we got? Bengals star QB is hurt, so throw it 50 times. Yeah. Yes. 1777 memorabilia. That is an outstanding comment. I'm like, what are you doing? Run the football. And they were pretty successful running the football. I'm like, run it with Mixon. But you're going to drop back and throw it 50 times in a game? A 37 in the first half. I'm like, what are you doing? It's always something with Cincinnati. Just dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Fraud of the week goes to Patrick Mahomes. I don't understand why. What did he do? Other than wave to Taylor Swift in the suite. But what did he do? That doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Why are running backs undervalued when the best teams just so happen to lead the league in rushing? Make it make sense, Big B. Good question, Golf Hawk. The problem is that no team that has a like the guy that's led the league in rushing, and I don't know how long, they haven't won the Super Bowl. So if leading the league in rushing doesn't equate to Super Bowl wins, then teams aren't interested. Teams are not interested. That's where the issue is. If leading the league in rushing equaled Super Bowl wins, there'd be a whole lot of teams that were running the football and paying running backs more. But it hasn't. It hasn't. So that's why it's undervalued. That's why it's undervalued. So somebody said Justin Fields over Sam Howell. No. Even after Sam Howell's horrible game, no. I'm not doing that. Not doing that at all. Vikings need to trade Kirk Cousins. A lot of people are saying trade Kirk Cousins already. Trade him to the Jets. I mean, that's what I say. Trade him to the Jets, tank the season, start over next year. The Jets will do it. But the problem is the Jets don't have any draft capital because they used it for Rodgers. So I don't know. Interesting. Gavin O'Brien says, why does every Miami team always get so close to the championship and then choke? I don't think every Miami team does that. I mean, when was the last time they were in the AFC championship game? I mean, how long has that been? I mean, it's been a long time. I would think at least 2 decades, hadn't it? So I think they're decent, but not great. Decent, but not great. Yeah, man, I saw what's happening with Chandler Jones. I don't know what's going on there. Somebody, first of all, if they're sending him to a mental hospital or they think they got an issue, why hasn't somebody taken the man's phone? Why hasn't that happened yet? And they locked him up and put him in a mental hospital for the weekend or something like that. I'm like, what is going on? Why hasn't his family stepped in? Or somebody? I mean, you haven't heard anything other than from him. Talking about they took him away, they gave him a shot against his will. I got a bad feeling about this one, people. I got a bad feeling about this one. I hope I'm wrong. I hope everything turns out okay. I just got a bad feeling. I got a bad feeling, man. Just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, it's tough to talk about. I like Chandler Jones. I think he's a good guy, but man, it's nuts. It is nuts what's going on. Can Kareem Hunt be as good as Nick Chubb? No, but I don't think he has to be. I don't think he has to be. I think he can be good, but he doesn't have to be as good as Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was the best running back in football. Just pure runner, he was the best. Kareem Hunt ain't that. Never going to be that. But I don't think he has to be. So, Boop, 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 boop. What do we got, man? No, I do not play 2K or any video games. I gave that up a decade ago. All right, people. Well, we are going to shut this one down today. I thank you guys again, man, for coming into the live. I appreciate it. Again, Big B Daily Show, Monday through Friday, man. I appreciate y'all joining. Live again on TikTok, live on YouTube. Again, if you're on TikTok, give me a follow if you're not in here, man. I appreciate it. More importantly, hit that link and shoot over and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk and join the chat over there, man. So thank you guys for joining the show today, and I will see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.